All right, good people. Hope everybody's doing well. You can see it's a beautiful day out here in some woods. Just wanted to really take a moment and kind of talk to you all a little bit about perspective and what kind of set me on this journey that has led me, I think, to kind of where I am. I was doing some reflecting this morning. And if you've followed any of the stuff that I've done, read any of my books, you know that perspective is oftentimes what I'm going for. My goal is to alter your perspective. And you might be like, yeah, but like, why? Where does that come from? So let me tell you a little story. 15 plus years ago, when I started off in this Army journey, there I was in basic training, 23 years old, full of energy, excited, ready to get after it. But definitely had my own view about some things. And one of the things I had my own view about was I didn't like mass punishment. And so, of course, what happens if you've done any kind of things with any groups, you know where I'm going with this. We somehow all got in trouble for something that I didn't do. And so there we are doing push-ups, some kind of creative correctional exercises courtesy of our drill sergeants. And I guess my drill sergeant just saw me like just really pretty furious. I don't know if I was bold enough to be looking at him at that moment furiously, but something in him saw something in me. And so he says to me, "What's wrong there, preacher man?" Which is what my nickname was. And he was like, "Oh, you don't look like you're happy right now." He's like, "Are you mad because you're doing this workout?" And I was like, honestly, drill sergeant, yeah, it wasn't my fault. Whatever had happened. And he was like, and he kind of like dropped his voice and just leaned in and says to me, if the punishment's not for you, then think about it as a workout. It was that simple. If the punishment is not for you, then think about it as a workout. Think about it as a workout. And in that moment, like something flipped, something switched, some fire was ignited. I don't even know if I really realized in that moment what it was. But all I know is after that, like the push-ups didn't bother me. I wasn't the one who had did it. I wasn't the one in trouble. And I can never pass an opportunity to get stronger. And if we're all doing it, I might as well embrace the moment and get a little better as a result of it. And all I had to do was change the way I thought about it. I was still in cadence. I was still annoyed. I still wasn't the one who was responsible for the outcome. But just because my perspective shifted that little bit, all of a sudden, I was able to embrace what was going on. And so many times, right, like when you're climbing your mountain, so many times when you're out there living your life as an everyday person, just trying to make sure you get the bills paid and you get the groceries in the car and your kids off to school on time and everybody in bed at night. And you're just like overwhelmed and you're like, man, I can't control this. I can't fix it. Just shift the perspective. I'm not dead. Like the world hasn't ended yet. Tomorrow's coming. And you know what? Actually, instead of focusing on the negative, I'm going to pause for a moment and think about all the positive things that I got accomplished today. I'm going to find one thing that I actually saw go well and determine in and of myself that this is going to be where I decide my day was. Not sit back there and think about all the negative things. Like I could have really focused on, well, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. Why am I got to do these push-ups? But instead, it was like, it's a workout. And if I'm climbing my mountain, if I'm going after that goal and I experience a setback along the way, if I'm out here trying to be the best father I can be, or the best husband I can be, or the best employee I can be, or whatever it is, when I'm trying to get you all's attention and put content and write books that people sometimes don't read, like when I'm trying to do all those kind of things, all I'm really trying to do is keep it in perspective. Like give you a different way to look at life. Give my kids a different way to think about the setbacks that they're encountering. Give my wife a different way to think about how her day went, and give you a different way to embrace what's happened in your past, the events and things that you probably don't want to talk about, the skeletons in your closet, and see them as actually things that you can learn Losses that turn into lessons, obstacles that turn into opportunities, failure that's actually feedback. Y'all hear these phrases all the time. Also that it keeps you moving in the direction of climbing your mountain, shining your light, saving somebody's life. That's it. This is just my little attempt to help make the world a little better place. And all I'm asking you to do in order to do that, nothing crazy. You gotta spend a lot of money. You ain't gotta invest in all of a sudden some magical 401k. I just want you to shift your perspective. Just think about it differently. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you all. I hope that's kind of helpful as you kind of like hear some of the things that I like to push out, and you ever just like, man, he always talks about perspective. Yes, shift your perspective. If you do so, you will realize you're a lot closer to the top of that mountain than you realized. All right, y'all, keep climbing. See y'all at the top.